Mark and Shane on the Interlude Pod.
Hey everybody, Mark Myra and Shane Allen here. Welcome to the Interlude Podcast. Shane, hello.
Hello, Mark Myra.
The Interlude Podcast, we talk about all the biggest and dumbest Rochester news stories of the week. Shane, is it all right if I, because I betrayed you and have started a new podcast, is it all right if I plug it and then I'll plug this podcast on that podcast?
I literally don't care if you shoot me in the head.
All right. You can listen to a podcast I'm doing with Deanna King. She's one of the people that I did radio with, and she got fired. There's so many people that I've done radio with that ended up getting fired. She's one of them. And then I got fired, and now we're doing a podcast together. It's called Way to Tick. I didn't pick that, Shane, but that's what it's called. Way to Tick with Deanna and Mark, and you can go listen to it. That's it. That's all I got.
Mark, if you do a podcast with everybody that you've gotten fired from radio, you're going to be a very busy man.
Yeah. Me and Earl. It's coming up, baby.
Can't wait for the Earl David Reed.
I found out today that I won an award from the New York State Broadcasters Association before I got fired. I just looked on the website and found out I thought the award I got was best on-air personality in New York State. No, I did not get that award, Shane. I got best on-air social media personality in New York State. And I found out because I got fired from iHeart or laid off from iHeart, the award is actually their award.
Oh, they're keeping it.
But the people at the New York State Broadcast Association, they said, if you want, we can send you a second one, which is just like, okay, these awards are so freaking fake. Like,
yeah, it's a certificate, right? Like, is there a trophy?
Yeah, it's like a little trophy, but you could tell like they just picked the cheapest trophies you could find, and they slap your name on it.
They were going to charge you?
I think you got to pay for the luncheon.
Yeah, they're going to pay for it. They got to pay for it.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be stupid for iHeart to be like, and look at this award we got, and people are like, wow, that's great, and they're like, yeah, we fired him. He's gone. Sorry, he's gone.
Yeah, we got one of the other 90-year-old men that we kept around here running our socials now.
He's done. Get him the hell out of here.
Speaking of, I think I was like quickly looking at one of your posts and I saw that Radio 95.1 had commented on and be like, was that real? Did I have a stroke?
So I had a post where I'm now working at Channel 13 doing like radio sales. But dude, this place, like I've been working there for a week. It's fine. The people there are cool. I mean, it's like it's an office job, so it's, this isn't like I got a freaking radio show and this is badass. I'm just doing an office job now. But everybody's cool there. But I just took a picture because the place looks like I'm in Severance. Like it's like the dirty yellow walls and there's just nobody there and it's just rows and rows of cubicles. So I took a picture and I took a picture of a coat hanger. I was like, oh, sick. I got the cubicle next to the coat hanger. And then underneath it, Radio 95.1, all known as Rock 95.1 now, wrote, so they didn't believe all those bad things I said about you. And I'm like, what is this? And what it is you know how you said like now that since I'm gone there's only 80-year-olds running their social media. One of those 80-year-olds is our good friend Dino K.
Nice.
Who they unwisely gave social media access to the Rock 95.1 Facebook, and he accidentally did not switch back to his. And so he meant to post it as him, as Dino K, and he ended up posting as the radio station. So now it looks like the radio station is mocking the people that they laid off, a few weeks ago.
I really hope you didn't tell Dino. Because I didn't. I need to. Yeah, great. I cannot wait for all the other Facebook posts. Nice cans.
It's just creeping on Rock 95 was just creeping on 16-year-olds on
Which
Facebook.
honestly, that is the vibe that they're going for. It would be so good. It'd be honestly, he's gonna win social media man of the year next year.
Personality of the year. Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
For great work saying that Steve from accounting has a small cock. Do you know? Okay.
Shane, let's get into some of the biggest news of the week. The Buffalo Bills had, it's called something, but they had like their practice game that they do at the new Highmark Stadium. So this is the first kind of like game that they do. Like fans are allowed in, right, to watch this practice game.
Yeah.
And the big news coming out of it, Shane, obstructed seats at Highmark Stadium, people posting pictures, and this went national. This wasn't just a local story. People posting pictures of railings in the way, of like staircases in the way, of what looks like overhangs from like above seating in the way, like straight up obstructed views. Now, to defend the Buffalo Bills, they're like, yes, those seats exist, but they are not they're not available for games. But it sure as hell looked like somebody was sitting there when they took the picture. Like, I'm not an idiot, right? Like, someone sat at that seat with the obstructed view and took that picture.
Yeah, guys, what are you upset about? They're not going to be sold during games. They're only going to be sold during the concerts that you guys are paying for. And as we all know, concert tickets are cheap as shit. So
Yeah.
why are people complaining? Why are people that paid the taxes to build the stadium upset about the stadium kind of being a piece of shit? Didn't they see all the fun stuff they got in there? They got that folding table thing. They got like a statue to like, oh, the working man. It's great. I
Well,
saw this too, Mark, and I will just say this. I am not upset about it, and it's because I am far too poor to ever see a game in Buffalo ever again. It's like finding out that like Sydney Sweeney's vagina isn't as slippery as you'd like. Like I'll never be in there, so I don't care about it.
you know what? Me and Lily were actually just talking about that. How it's exactly like finding out that Sydney Sweetie's vagina is just not slippery
Not as
enough.
slippery as you'd
I
expect.
want it slippery. Yeah.
Slippery in there.
Their whole thing was their with their new uniforms, the nickel, whatever, Nickel City, which of course we've all heard of. We all call it the Nickel City. Oh my! I said it so much, my tongue is tired of saying the Nickel City. I'm always saying it. That their uniforms have blue collars on them to honor the blue collar workers of Western New York and Buffalo. And then they were saying this was the craziest take. I guess during this game it started like pouring for a little bit, and the cheap seats or cheaper seats, like the 300 section, was covered by like the kind of semi dome that they have, the little overhang that they have.
Yeah.
But all the rich people seats were getting dumped on, we're getting and poured on. And people are posting, they're like, look, Buffalo really is a working man city, protecting the working man in the 300s and pouring all over the rich guys in the 100 section. And it's like you realize that it's still a poorly constructed stadium, right? Like that's not good. That's, I would say, from a business standpoint, somebody that's spending all this money on these PSLs or whatever, getting poured on is not good. Not good, fellas.
But that's what they wanted, right? Buffalo, it really didn't want to have a roof because that's the Buffalo
Hmm.
spirit
This is, do
is
you
to
want to,
be out in the snow.
you know what
Mark,
the real honor to the working man would have been is, do you remember when this summer, or it was actually spring, when the stadium's being constructed and they had to shut down construction for a little bit because a bunch of the working men, the construction workers, were going in and spray painting like gay slurs on the walls and like drawing penises on things and stuff? They should have kept those. That's an homage to the working man. A dumbass construction worker putting a big hard dick going into Brandon Bean's mouth. That's the working man, buddy.
I mean, when it turns out that they're lying and are 100% selling obstructed view seats, those dicks are coming back, Mark. Don't worry about it. Dude, watching Josh Allen run out of the tunnel in that Nickel City jersey, that jersey fucking sucks, dude. I was like, maybe I'm judging it too harshly because it's just photos. It's so much worse watching the players in it. Oh my God. It is horrendous. It is
I,
like high school football movie bad. They look
yeah,
fucking terrible.
it's creeping into the territory of like what these are classically bad outfits or jerseys and stuff. It's creeping into the territory of slow pitch softball uniforms, which are think of the dumbest person you know and the amount of Monster Energy drinks that they have, right? And the amount of tribal tattoos that they feature on their arms. Those are the guys that are picking what they want to be wearing during beer league slow pitch softball. That's what it reminds me of. And the NFL's kind of creeping into that territory. I know that I think Seattle has some jerseys that are a little like, do we need this much neon? You know, and college football's gone. College football has already lost the jersey battle.
Mhm. I don't know, man. Like I understand it. You know, you're just pumping out new jerseys every year so that people can continue to buy it and get that merch. But like I would have probably consulted people that would buy jerseys because I don't there's who the fuck is gonna buy this thing? I can't imagine anybody unless it's like strictly for the laugh. Like they're so bad. Who's like gray? That's this is a team that constantly gets hit with snowstorms that are so hard that they have to go play in Detroit. Detroit wears gray uniforms. I feel like we just spent too much time playing in Detroit in a good stadium that has a fucking roof
Hmm.
and probably much lower ticket prices. Honestly, it's insane, man. Like I remember this was just happened with the Sabres, right? The Sabres were in the playoffs and they figured out it was cheaper for people from Buffalo to drive to Boston and stay
Mm.
there and watch a game there than it was to watch the Sabres play in Buffalo. And that is so fucking stupid to me. This stadium is an atrocity that they cut out 10,000 seats just so they could make more room for executive suites and boxes and shit. And then there's obstructed views. And yeah, okay, great. They're not being sold for football games. They're going to be sold. They're 100% going to be sold. And people will, even if they are going to sell them. They're lying. They're just lying.
Well,
They're
this is
saying that oh yeah, we aren't going to sell you. They are 100% going to fucking sell these seats. They're trying to sell out the stadium. They're trying to squeeze as much money out of the people as they can. It's fucking it's asinine.
it's called a PSL, right? Am I
Yeah.
wrong with that? So
Yeah.
that's where you get to buy the right to the seats to then buy the season tickets. So like let's say you have to spend $30,000 for a seat to have the rights to be able to buy the season ticket. But what they say is what's good for you about that $30,000 is that you can then sell that and recoup your money, right? But here's the problem with it. That PSL becomes worthless if, like, say, first game Josh Allen gets injured and the Bills have just another 10 years of shit, right?
Hmm.
You get stuck with having paid for that $30,000 PSL that now nobody wants because the Bills are no longer good at football anymore. The only person that wins with the PSL shit is the Pagulas that sold it to you to begin with. They just got an extra $30,000 on a seat for no reason. What they should be doing is putting a good team on the field and then selling tickets. That's it. Just sell tickets. What's with this PSL bull crap? You take the risk of the prices of tickets going down as the owner. But that now they've put the risk on the fans. That's kind of insane, right?
Yeah, no, it's so stupid. And if they didn't plan for this, or they did plan, they knew this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be very excited to see what happens when it snows. I got a feeling like it's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for them to ask people to shovel out their fucking $1 million
Oh
stadium
yeah.
again.
All
Billion
right,
dollar? What do we got? Billions?
it's at least 1 million. Like I'm
It's
gonna say at the
definitely a
very
mil.
least, it's like at least a mil.
2.1 billion is what the number I wanted. But yeah, it's definitely more than a million.
All right, Shay, what other stories are going on in old Rochester? What's happening?
Mark, my neighborhood made the news this week.
What?
Somebody got shot in my neighborhood in Penfield. Yep. This was what the fuck day was it? I can't even remember now. It was Wednesday night, Mark. Wednesday night. I was sitting down. Let me set the scene for you, right? Whole fam's asleep. I stay up at night and I'm eating cheese and I'm just watching baseball. Eating cheese, watching baseball. Eating
The
cheese,
dream.
watching baseball. It's like 11:30 and I see some flashing lights coming through my window and I was like, that's odd. These fire trucks, why would they be doing this? And I look out my window and there was 25 cop cars. I counted them. 25 cop cars and 3 fire trucks. One ambulance pulling a guy out, getting out of there and I was like, "Oh man." My first thought was like, oh, one of my elderly neighbors had a heart attack. But then I was like, Shane, you're an idiot. Why would they send all of the police here for that? That's a serious heart attack.
Yeah.
Then my doorbell is broken. So, and I don't know if just that's how cops do it anyways. They just skip the doorbell and go right to pounding, but they 11:45. Gung, 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 gung,
Oh,
gung.
they went to Pound Town?
They went to pound town on my door, and it was just a cop, and she was just like, there was a shooting in the area. I need to know if this ring camera you have on your house is pointed outwards, and I need to see the footage.
Hmm.
And I said, yeah, I'm not gonna pull that up for you. One, because I don't, it's not gonna pick up anything. I have a very low radius because all it does is usually just pick up people on their bicycles and. But here's the thing, Mark. Okay, a couple things. I did not hear the gunshots. Apparently, there was multiple gunshots. What had happened was, uh, two people came in an SUV. I think it was two, maybe more. Rolled up on my neighbor. He was getting out of his car, and they got him in his driveway, and they shot him in the leg, and then they
What?
drove off. They're saying it's like a drug related thing. We don't really know. From what I understand, the guy that got shot is going to be okay. Also, not cooperating at all with the investigation. Pretty solid stuff. I When the cops told me this, I ran up to tell Elena. I was like, "Should I wake her up?" She was already awake because of the pounding, and I was like, "Yeah, here's what's going on." And I was like, my only hope is that everybody's okay and that it is not the only black family that lives on our fucking neighborhood.
Yeah.
Please don't be the only black family that lives in our neighborhood. And Mark, God damn it. God damn it. God
Mhm.
damn it.
God damn it.
Disappointing news.
Oh.
Yeah. And so the news crews were out and they were interviewing all my neighbors. You can go and look it up if you want to see my neighbors on the news. They said that they spoke for me, which I don't like, my
Hmm.
neighbors. Because the news did the thing. It's like, how do you think everybody's feeling about it? And they're like, oh, we're all just in shock. They're such lovely neighbors. It's like, I'm, I
Oh,
don't speak for me. I'm
I
not
thought
shocked. This is the hard streets of Penfield, baby.
I thought when he said they spoke for you, they're gonna be like, well, Shane was in his house and we could hear him watching baseball and shoving cheese down his
We saw
his face.
Shane standing at his window in his underwear, eating a cheese and looking out with binoculars. Because I was binocularing it up. Pretty wild stuff, Mark. Mean Streets of
Yeah.
Penfield. But here's the other piece is that the next day, my mother-in-law was here, like walking our dog because we were out and about doing stuff, and she gave us a call saying that when she went to take the dog out, two people ran up to her and asked her to pray with them.
Mm.
She's like really uncomfortable. She said no, and they left. But my wife, since these two events have happened, she has brought up the praying more than the shooting. It's it's been pretty funny to watch
What?
my wife be more upset about people running up on her mom and asking them to pray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't want that kind of element in your towns. I remember living in the South Wedge. There was definitely like right outside of my house, just four gunshots. And I was most nervous that Lily heard them. Because for me, I'm just like, ain't for me. That hot lead ain't for me. So I just like creeped back into bed and went to bed. Didn't wake up Lily, and I was like, whoever's bleeding out in the street, fine. I'm not as long as because Lily would have gotten up and made us go to like her parents or something. You know?
Yeah, I hadn't I went into dad mode, but all I have is a bat. I don't have a gun. So I just kind of stayed up and I had a bat. And then I just watched the cops search my yard for I don't know what fucking reason. They're looking for like casings or something. I don't know. I love that being a cop is just going up to people and asking if their security cams work, and that's the extent of the investigation.
Yeah, I love the people that. What are they chopping down those cameras? People are going like around the country or chopping down
Flack,
the FLAC
like
cameras.
flock.
Yeah, all of us have cameras now. Like I don't know, like I chop them down, okay, and then what? You go home to your seven ring cameras that are all over your house, you know?
Yeah, and there's some areas now where there's services where businesses have to sign up to let law enforcement have access to them like whenever they
Oh,
want.
fuck that.
I'm sure that's gonna be the next thing here.
My my favorite thing about all of this is like so somebody gets shot in the mean streets of Penfield and there's
Yeah.
25 cop cars, there's three fire trucks. Somebody gets macheted in the city or shot in the city. It's just that one Jeffrey kid. Like just send GSL networks out there. GSL sounds like something I would call a girl in eighth. She got them GSLs, buddy.
Yeah, that sounds like something that they said in Jersey Shore.
Got them sweet GSLs. Speaking of GSLs, did you see in Irondequoit that teen got arrested for selling candy too aggressively? Did you see that?
Yeah, what was that story?
So there's this like 16-year-old that is, I guess, I don't know if he's always in Irondequoit because I feel like he might also like hang out in the city too. Irondequoit police say that they cuffed a 16-year-old from Rochester who they say pressured people to pay him for candy. It says the teen has been arrested and banned from Culver Plaza. They say he's been in physical fights with patrons, just like in the past. That I guess there was like they basically talked about it because there were some social media videos that popped around of this guy. He's just selling them. He's selling that candy. I get this in the city all the time. Like on Park, there's a guy that says he's like selling it for a school trip. He's not selling it for a fucking school trip. He's selling that
Well,
sweet candy so he can have some sweet cash, baby, with
what
those
they say,
sweet
Mark,
GSLs.
the toughest part about sales is the lying, Mark. But you gotta tug on some heartstrings. The ones that I like are the ones that they're like pimping out the children.
Mm.
We used to have ones at the Longhorn Steakhouse that I worked out. They would bring in all these kids and just they'd flood the zone with the children. Like they just open up the door and then like eight kids, small children would run in and start selling candy
Into Longhorn?
at the Longhorn. Yeah, and then there would just be a guy at the door like collecting them at the end because we'd have to kick them out and all that stuff. But you got to use the kids. I don't buy candy from an adult. It's weird.
Yeah, 16-year-old. Yeah, there was. I don't know if it's the same guy, but there was a guy on Park Ave that was doing it, and I got it. I bought that candy from him. I'm just saying, what's the difference though from like some suburban kid that's doing it for a band trip and somebody that's just selling some freaking candy, doing a little price gouging.
Yeah, I if it's got a good price, I'll buy it. I've been getting back into candy. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, we need to boycott. Is this still around? because maybe we've already boycotted. We need to never ever eat a Niagara chocolate again. I
Oh
will
yeah, I haven't
die
seen a
a
Niagara chocolate in a long time.
dude. Niagara chocolates, you'd get them, and it was just such like I don't know. It's like messing up porn. Like, how did you mess up chocolate this badly? How did Niagara mess up making chocolate? Like, it was so bad.
Yo, shout out Andy's Candies, man. I don't know who Andy is. We got to get him on the pod.
Like the store, Andy's Candies.
Absolutely crushing it, dude. Andy makes the best chocolate, man. It's wild.
You're gonna go. All right. So you're in the middle of a chocolate fuck fest.
Yeah,
You got Andy from
yeah,
Andy's Candies dripping from tit to tat in Andy's chocolate.
yeah.
But up against Andy in your big fuck fest, you got Stever from Stever's Chocolates, aka Slippery Steve, and he's dripping from hole to skull in Stever's chocolate. Who you picking?
Dude, I would lick Andy clean to the bone.
Really? Not
Yeah,
Steve?
and I bet if I'm knowing
Ooh.
Andy's Candies, I bet Andy's actually hollow on the inside.
Wait, but you like Andy and you like the hollow?
I'll eat a hollow chocolate. Yeah,
Oh, Stever's they
I
don't.
prefer the hollow chocolate because those dense, it's a little too decadent for me.
A
I'm
hundred
trying to eat
percent.
an entire calculator.
I'm trying to eat a 7 foot sculpture, a 7 inch sculpture of the Virgin Mary with a little dignity here.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch my calories.
I don't want to be gnawing on Susan B. Anthony's thick, solid chocolate head for 3 days. I want to be able to bite through
Yeah.
that bitch.
I like it when I bite into it and it kind of shatters in little pieces, and I'm like, it's not even that much.
You know Stevers, they got the Rochester chocolate like mini action figures. They got George Eastman, they got Susan B. Anthony, and then they got to Frederick Douglass, and they're like, we just can't do it.
You know what I was thinking? Now that we're on sweets chat,
Hmm.
I feel like Cheesy Eddie's needs like more flowers. Cheesy Eddie's, I could be at the worst function I've ever been to, but if somebody told me there's going to be Cheesy Eddie's at the end, I would stay. I would
Hmm.
stay there. If like this shooting happened where they were like took my family hostage and they were shooting at us, it'd be miserable. But if somebody was like, yeah, but at the end, Cheesy Eddie's, I'd be like, all right, well, keep on shooting then.
Yeah, that's why I stayed at
They
the.
knock it out of the park. Cheesy
That,
Eddie's, here's some flowers.
that's why I stayed at that Kevin Lockhart rally for so long.
Yeah, Cheesy Eddie's.
Cheesy Eddie's was promised.
Honestly, dude, I don't like Lockhart. I don't like anything he says or does. But if one of his policies was like, hey, all right, we're getting rid of all the trans people, yada yada
Yeah,
yada, but get a little cheesecake every once in a while. It
all right,
wouldn't even have to be like daily. If he was like once a month, we send you a Cheesy Eddie's cheesecake. I'd be like, all right,
all right.
I'm
We got
far right now.
we got to go to the Patreon side of the episode. I got more Kevin Lockhart news on the Patreon side, patreon.com/interlude podcast. Just $4 a month. You get to support the podcast. And you get a longer version of this podcast, an earlier version. But before we go there, I got to ask you one more question. And I want your answer on the Patreon side, Shane, because it's very important. So, Andy from Andy's Candies, covered in chocolate from tit to tap.
Yep.
Stever from Stever's Chocolates, covered from hole to skull.
Yep.
Or you got Eddie from Cheesy Eddie's, cheesed up from butt to cut. Who are you picking on the other side of the Patreon, my friends?
From tit to slit.
Patreon.com/interlude podcast. All right, bye, poor people.